I will tell you why I call macrophages as the pigs of our body. So in this video, I'll explain you how the granuloma is formed. These macrophages, they will go to the tissues and convert themselves as macrophages from monocytes from the blood. Then they convert themselves as a macrophages. Then these help clearing the debris that is there in the tissues. So these are like a regular cleaners. Just like how these pigs clear the shit out of this town, these macrophages will clear the shit out of these tissues and organs. So that's the basic idea of why I call these macrophages as the pigs of our body. So what happens in the bone marrow? First of all, before going to the granulomas and how they will form, I'll go to very basic of these macrophages, and then I'll discuss about very briefly inflammatory cell infiltrates that come into the tissues. The bone marrow is there. Inside the bone marrow, just imagine there is a hematopoietic stem cell, and that divides into these monoblasts. Monoblasts are precursors of monocytes. Then these give rise to monocytes, which are mature forms of these monoblasts, and they circulate inside the body. These monocytes will be there in the blood. So these will be there in the circulation. So they will be circulating. These monocytes will go into the tissue. When they enter the tissue, they are called as a macrophages, and based on the specific tissue or based on the specific organ where these macrophages reside, they will be given a special name. For example, if they are in the liver, they are called as a Kupffer cells. These are the macrophages basically, but if they are in the specific tissue, they are given specific names. Imagine in the lungs, these macrophages are there normally, but when there is a infection like tuberculosis, for example, when these macrophages come and attack on these organisms that cause the TB, these macrophages cannot digest these infection. Then what they will do, they will call for help. They will just take a piece of it and then they reflect on themselves, and they call the lymphocytes. Why they call lymphocytes? Why not the neutrophils? Why not other kinds of cells? Because if they call neutrophils are acute inflammatory mediators. What they will do, these are like a bombshell. They'll just throw bombs everywhere, and they die themselves also, as well as the organisms they kill. That is the neutrophils. But here there is an infection, and it needs a lot of days of clearance. Lymphocytes will see to it, specifically T lymphocytes. Why not B lymphocytes? B lymphocytes are responsible for your immunoglobulin formations. So T lymphocytes will come. Between the T lymphocytes, which are CD8 plus, CD4 plus, which are helpful for this condition, CD4 plus T cells are helpful. So these CD4 T cells will come to the help, and they see which microbe it is, what is this macrophages are presenting. So now the lymphocytes know that this specific problem that is raised by macrophage is genuine, and I need to make the macrophage. Even if the macrophage is not able to clear this off, I need the macrophage to wall off this infection, so that the infection stays in that place, doesn't spread to the body. So that's the good intention of these CD4 T cells. CD4 T cells start producing the interferon gamma. This interferon gamma will stick to the macrophages, will give the message to the macrophage that you need to proliferate. The macrophage start stretching their body. So then these are called as epithelioid cells. Basically, lymphocyte is telling them to stop moving, start sealing, and be there walling off this infection. So that is the message these lymphocytes give through interferon gamma. Because of this, these epithelioid cells start proliferating and start walling off this infection. So they literally create a wall around this infection. Suppose this is the center of the infection, they start creating a wall around this infection, so that they wall off this infection and doesn't spread to the body. So these epithelioid cells will be so much stretched and so much compactly arranged that at one point they will start fusing, the cytoplasm starts fusing, and they start forming the giant cells. So that is how these granulomas walling off the infection will form in your lung. For more such interesting videos, like, subscribe to this channel, and I'll be bringing such interesting mechanisms in a very fun way to understand. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.